Hey guys, Steve Welch here at Beaman Toyota, standing on the lot out here in Nashville. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about a question I get asked a lot is how can I get the most for my trade, or how can I make sure that somebody doesn't screw me on my trade? There's a lot of ways that I think that you can get a little bit more for your trade, do something a little bit better, and I'm going to go over a couple of those here now for us. So first off is I always tell people, figure out what the dealerships do to get more for the trade. You shine up your car, you make it look nice, you try to make things look a little bit better. You don't have to do a lot of the stuff that the dealership does, but just think there's little things, just a coat of wax makes the car look a little bit better. It doesn't mean that you can't get good money for a car that's dirty, but if it looks shinier, sometimes it's easier for the dealership to put a little bit more money into it. Plus, it doesn't look like you're trying to hide something. So I wrote down a couple things, and I'm going to kind of talk about those. So definitely clean your car. You don't have to go through and do a full detail. Don't pay for a detail if you don't want to. But just do vacuum it out. Don't make it look like you live in your car. A bunch of wrappers, things like that in there. Always, especially when you're going to trade it in, have 2 keys with you. Those keys can be pretty expensive. You want to make sure that those keys are available, and that you can definitely show the dealership you have 2. Telling them you have another one at home, but I'm sure I'll get that one to you. A lot of times the dealership has to figure that they're probably not going to get that key. Bring 2 with you, and the dealership knows they're going to get that key. Fix damages that are obvious and blatant. Now, if you've got a couple little dings, dents, scratches, things like that, a lot of times the dealership's going to understand that, and a lot of times they might not even fix them. They'll just kind of pass the savings on to the next customer by not fixing them. But if you have things like a bumper hanging, where the clips are popped or something like that, and you can get it fixed for just a couple $100, that might be something that's good to do, because it's going to actually stop the dealership from looking too much into something else in that area, or worrying that there could be something else wrong in that area. So I would definitely fix small items and make sure that there's not a bigger issue to it, because if there is a bigger issue to it, then usually you can claim that on your insurance, and your insurance will actually pay to help you get more for your trade. So fix those issues, especially the ones that insurance will cover. Always take care of things like check engine lights, tire pressure lights. If you've got a light on the dash, especially if it's something like a check engine light for a gas cap, man, turn that check engine light off. Go to AutoZone, something like that. They'll pull the code for you, and they'll see what it is. It's not that hard. You can even buy one of those code scanners. I own one myself to go ahead and take those things and to fix that. Clean your headlights. A lot of times people don't realize you've got these cars now. All of these cars have these headlights where they're like a polycarbonate, whatever you want to call it, over the front. They're over time, a lot of them will end up getting like a little cloud to them. So if they have this little cloud to them, obviously the dealership knows they're going to have to do something on it. For $20, for something along those lines, you can actually get a kit from any auto parts store, Walmart, whatever. You can get a kit, and it'll actually help you to shine those up. Shine those up. It's going to make the car look better. It's going to bring more value. The dealership, usually what they would do is they would just replace them. So they're going to look at it and say, well, I've got $400 worth of headlights to change, and I know I'm going to have to change those, where you could have fixed it for $20 and added your value. So definitely fix your headlights. Headlights are a massive thing that you can do for a cheap price that'll change the look of the car, make you more money. It'll definitely work for you. Remove worn seat covers. And I like to say just remove seat covers in general, but if you've got worn tore ones, it starts to make the manager, that's looking at the car, wonder what's wrong with the rest of the car. If you're going to the dealership, you're going to trade, take those seat covers off, even if they've been on since day one. Let them know, hey, I've had seat covers on since day one. I went ahead and took those off so you can see the upholstery underneath the vehicle. That way you're going to get the most for it, because the dealer doesn't think that you're trying to hide something. A lot of times they'll try to see under seat covers, things like that. Sometimes they're a pain to get them off. So sometimes a dealer might deduct just because they figure there's probably a tear in the seat there might be a stain on the seat, something like that. And if you have a stain on the seat, own it. You got a stain on the seat. Maybe try to get it out. Maybe take it to somebody to detail it, see if that stain will come out, just due to the fact that's going to get you more for your trade, and that's what we're trying to do here, is get you more for your trade. Fix your windshield stars. I mean, everybody's been behind a dump truck, something like that, and you've had that rock kick up and put a little star in your windshield. Those stars, if you get after them right away, most of these companies, the Safe Lights and all these a lot of body shops will even do it for a real cheap rate, where they'll actually put a machine on your glass and they'll fix those little stars. If you fix it early, then it will look like a little raindrop on your windshield and you don't have to replace your windshield. The problem comes when you don't fix it and then you get this crack that runs all the way across your windshield, and then the dealership knows that they're going to have to spend $300, $400, $500 to replace that windshield. So fix those stars when they happen. That's something you can do while you own the vehicle, knowing that at some point you're probably going to trade or sell that vehicle. So fix those stars and make sure that you can help to keep your value up there. Something else I tell people, watch your miles on your vehicle and realize that dealerships have value to where your miles are. Know your warranties on the vehicle that you own. So like, on a Toyota, you have 3 years, 36,000 on your bumper to bumper. You have a 5 year, 60,000 mile warranty on your powertrain. Beeman offers a lifetime powertrain warranty, but I'm just talking the manufacturer warranty. But then so you have the 5 year 60 on your powertrain that's from the manufacturer. So you know that. Now people like to get vehicles under warranty. So if you've got 30,000 miles on your car and you go to trade it in, it's still got 6,000 miles of the warranty left. People worry about buying somebody else's problem, is what they always say. So if you've got some miles left on the warranty, it makes that person feel at ease. It actually adds value to that car. The other thing to think about is when the dealership can certify the vehicle. I know on Toyotas, you got to be less than 85,000 miles to be able to certify the vehicle. When you can certify it, you give them a factory warranty. You give them guarantees from the factory that we've done things to the car to make sure that the car is up to Toyota standards or up to Chevy standards or up to Nissan standard, whatever that particular certification is. And also always watch when you're buying a car. I'm just throwing this in as a caveat. If you get a certified used car, make sure that it's certified by the manufacturer. It's not just something that's thrown out there and somebody says, hey, all of our used cars are certified. Certified by who? Well, certified by us. Well, if they don't have a manufacturer certification, so a Toyota certification, a Chevy certification, a Ford certification, if it's not certified by the manufacturer, all you're getting is, it's like the old Tommy Boy thing. You can mark guaranteed on a box and call it good. It's certified by nobody. All it is somebody put certified on it to charge you more. If you want something that's been properly certified, properly looked over, properly looked at to where the manufacturer says, yes, I will put a certification and an additional warranty on that vehicle, then definitely get a manufacturer certified warranty on it, or a manufacturer certified vehicle. But if you know when that certification runs, so you can't certify a car for a lot of manufacturers. Some if you're over 60,000, you can't certify them. Some if you're, like I said, 85,000 on the Toyotas. It just depends on each manufacturer. They're all different on which ones can be certified. If you can get it to the dealership with some time before that certification is no longer eligible, then you're going to, and it's also time weighted too. So, but if you can get it before that certification availability runs out, you're going to actually do a little bit better because that dealer knows that they can certify it and help to, number one, bring in a customer that's looking for that certified car, and number two, also it would demand a little bit more money being certified. Demands a little bit more money when you trade it in that way too. Also, you watch out for the 100,000 miles. Not to say a car drops, all of its value at 100,000, but there is a perception that at 100,000 miles, that cars are less valuable. And is it different at 99,000? Mentally, yes. Physically and mechanically, there's realistically no difference between 99,000 and 100,000. It's all about perception. You want to get the most money for it, definitely get during the certified period, but definitely before 100,000 if you're trying to do that. And then a lot of warranties, you can't get them past 120,000 depending on the car. Some of you can't buy after 100,000. Banks are really leery about financing cars that are over 100,000. So all of those reasons make that 100,000 mile car less valuable. So get it in before 100,000 if you plan on trading it. If you plan on driving the wheels off of it, congratulations, drive the wheels off of it. But don't wait to get it in. I'll show you some cars here so you don't have to keep looking at my mug. These are some Toyotas that we've got here at the store. But definitely. So here's the other thing I want to tell people is you want to sell your car. You want to and this is the thing. People come in and they're, hey, does your car have this on? Does your car have navigation? Well, I don't know. Or does your car have seat warmers? Does your car have this? And know your car, know what you're selling, because you're selling the dealership your car just as much as they're selling you theirs. So if hey, my car's got navigation, I've got a blind spot monitor, and I've got heated seats in the front, and I've got whatever you've got, I've got these body side moldings, so I know that makes it more valuable because it's less likely to ding. I don't have any scratches on the car. I've just put new tires on it. Anything that you've done to that car that makes it more valuable, bring that up, because your salesman's going to try to help you get the most you can for your car, because obviously that makes everything better, because usually it comes down to payment. Well, if it comes down to payment, if he can get you more for your trade-in, it makes hitting that payment a whole lot easier. So definitely help us out to help you out. And help to sell your car to us so that we can turn around and sell it to our manager. So let us know what you got, XM, sunroofs, whatever. And this is going to sound counterintuitive, but the next thing I'm going to tell you is don't do your routine maintenance. And by that, I mean, you're going to be out money. A lot of people will come in and say, hey, I got a fresh oil change on. I just did an oil change. Well, you know what's going to happen? The dealership's going to take that car in. They're going to turn around and they are going to do an oil change. Because that's what you do every time that you bring a car in. You're going to do an oil change, you're going to change your wipers, going to change your air filter. They don't care, realistically, for most dealerships, especially ours. They don't care if it's just been done. They do it again. So if you've just done this routine maintenance, a lot of times you're not going to get that money back. Now, if you have particular cars and you have some huge maintenance, so something like a BMW or something, and you've just done a maintenance that costs $4,000 or $5,000 to that car, then definitely bring that up, because that's a major piece of maintenance that the dealership's not going to have to do. So if you've done a major piece of maintenance recently or within the past 6 months or something like that, definitely bring up that you've done that. Hey, I've done the 80,000 mile service on this car. Bring that up, because that means the dealership doesn't have to do the huge service. But like I said, oil changes, air filters, things like that, they're going to do regardless. So you definitely want to not do that if you don't have to. And then the last thing I'm going to say is be realistic. I mean, most people, what they'll do is they'll go and they will search and search and search, and they'll find the lowest price they can find on the car they're looking at. And then they'll search and search and search, and they will find the highest price on their trade-in. And then they'll be like, okay, so I want your car for the very lowest price I found, but on that website I saw my car, and my car didn't give me enough on that website. So I went to a different website, and that car said it was a little bit higher, or something along those lines. You're shopping. So you're shopping for the lowest price on the one you're buying and the highest price on yours. Realize that most of those websites don't sell cars. Most of those websites don't buy cars. All they are is an arbitrary number that's usually it's put in by somebody that's trying to guess at what your car is worth with minimal information, without knowing if it's been in a wreck, without knowing anything extra on the car. So you've got somebody that or a website that has very little knowledge about what you're actually driving, the market, things like that, and they're throwing out a number, and you're just looking for the highest number. I understand we all want the most for our cars, and hey, it's human nature. I want to spend the least amount of money I can on the one I'm buying, and I want you to give me the most on the one that you're selling me. So so be it. I understand that. I'm not mad at you for asking for every dollar. But when I say be realistic, realize that, your car has a value and it's based off of a lot of things. But if you do all the stuff that I've told you about, you can demand the top dollar that your vehicle is worth. And if you're realistic about it and you're not, asking $2,000-$3,000 higher because you went on a website and it didn't ask you if it had a package and it added that package to it, your vehicle has a value. And most dealerships, they have several tools to find it. A lot of those tools are something like the MMR report, which is your auction report. So what are cars selling for at auction? So if they look at it and they see that there's been, 200 Nissan Rogues that have gone through the auction, and if they put in your miles and they say, based off of your miles, your car is worth $18,000, and you say, well, I went to XYZ website and it said my car's worth 23 and I'm not settling for less than 23, well, you're going to find out that you don't have a car deal. You're leaving empty-handed and you just wasted your time. And realistically, dealerships have the ability to pull these. Most of the dealerships aren't going to try to completely rip your trade out from under you or something like that. They're going to give you most of them will give you a fair price for your trade. Sometimes there's some ability to room on or some room to move on it, but usually they're everybody's competing for your business, and they realize there's websites out there. They realize that you have the ability to say no and go somewhere else. The dealership doesn't want you to go somewhere else. They want you to buy their car, and realistically, most of them need your trade. They want to buy your trade. So, don't think that somebody's trying to get over on you or something like that. Just be realistic, and hey, come with that information. Come with hey, look, this is what I found on NADA, this is what I found on KBB. You can do that. Most dealerships can pull that same information, and they'll pull that information directly from your VIN number. So it'll print up in whatever condition, and just ask, hey, will you show me the NADA on my car based on my VIN number? Will you show me the Kelley Blue Book on my car based on my VIN number? Ask the dealership to show you. If they say no, then maybe they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. But most of the time, they'll show it to you. And those websites and that, they're most dealerships are linked to them. So just be realistic on what you want for your trade. Be realistic on what you want for the price on the new car. Understand the benefits. So like Toyotas have 2 years of Toyota Care maintenance. Understand that you have these benefits to where it's not just about what's the lowest price. It's about what do you get for your car. And then I'll tell people too, when you're talking about your vehicle that you're getting, you don't want to just arbitrarily say, well, this one's a cheaper price, that one's a cheaper price. So if you're comparing two different brands, one could be a cheaper price, but it might cost you more because you lose the value more. So it's not so much about what what the sticker is or even what the discount might be or that. It's about what it's going to cost you to own the car, fuel mileage, things along those lines. So don't get so lost in a sticker price or a discounted price that you miss a better deal. And also don't get so stuck on your trade price that you go to 5, 6, 7 different dealerships, find out they're all within a couple $100s of each other, and you just wasted 2 days of your time because you hit something wrong on KBB and it told you your trade was worth $1,000 more than it was actually worth. So just be realistic. But to kind of go back over it again, like I said, do what your dealership does. Try to keep them clean your cars, bring your 2 keys in. Definitely fix your damages, your bumpers. Make sure your check engine light's off, your tire pressure lights. Now keep in mind too, on your check engine light, sometimes you can't shut it off. Sometimes it's like, hey, you know what? I'm trading this car in because the check engine light's on, and it's because of catalytic converters out or something like that, and I don't want to spend $1,000 on it. So be it. Just tell the dealership, hey, I know exactly what's wrong with it. This is why it's wrong, and this is why I didn't fix it. And realize, realistically, your car is worth X number of dollars less because of whatever's wrong. So just realize that. Clean your headlights, keep those, get those things shined up. It's so easy to do. Cost you about $20 and a little elbow grease, but definitely do that. fixing your windshield stars, stuff along those lines. Watch your miles, realize when your certified warranties and your factory warranties go out, or realize when your factory warranties go out, realize when a car can be certified. If you don't know, call a dealership and say, hey, when can you certify a whatever, or how late can you do it, when in the miles or the years. Call them. They're gonna answer those questions for you. Definitely sell your car to your salesman and let him help you sell it to his manager. Let him know if there's Sirius XM, if there's anything that's extra or special package, an all-weather package, something like that on your car. Let that salesman know so he can help to get you the most amount available for your car. Also, don't do your routine maintenance. Don't do oil changes, things like that. Realize the dealership is going to have to do them again, so there's no need to go out and try to do a bunch of stuff. Having just changed your oil adds absolutely no value to your car unless you've never changed your oil in the past. If you've done routine maintenance, you're good. Just realize if it's time for an oil change, you have a maintenance light on even, that's okay. Maintenance light is fine, because just say, hey, look, I wasn't going to change my oil, I'm just trading it in. Awesome, we understand that. That's not going to really hurt your value at all. And then, like I said, last thing, be realistic. I'm trying to help people to understand a little bit more, because a lot of people just don't know how to get the most for their trade. They don't know what to do to make it make more sense for the dealership to buy it or for you to sell it. Everybody thinks their car is their baby, it seems. They understand things. Realize also, one thing I didn't mention, if you've had a wreck, it hurts the value of your car. You look it up on KBB and it says it's worth 20 grand, but you had a wreck on it, after you had it for 2 years, realize it can't be worth 20 grand. It has a bad Carfax. And a lot of times people won't buy a car with a bad Carfax. But I'm trying to do everything I can to help people to make a better buying decision, buy a better car, and understand that not every car salesman's out to get you. I like it when people can come back time and time again, not be upside down in their cars. Finance for shorter terms, it keeps you from being upside down. Definitely get the most for your trades. There's ways that you can do things that literally helps everybody. It helps me to be able to sell you a car. It helps you to be able to buy a car, and it helps the dealership to get a trade-in that they need and sell a new car that they need to sell. So just reach out to me if you have any questions, comments. Put them in the bottom there. I'm more than happy to answer those. I try to answer those as they come through. You can call or text me. I like to text. I'm a big texter. 615-645-3039. If you're in the Nashville area or want to come down here and buy a car, I have people come from all over the country to buy a car from me. So I love it when somebody comes in. I'm going to make sure you get the best deal. I'm going to make sure that you come. We've got about 1,000 cars here that are new, another 200 on this lot, and another couple hundred on other lots that I can get you that are used market. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to get you a good deal. I'm going to make sure that you have a great experience. It's something different, and it doesn't have to suck buying a car. It really doesn't. We have fun. We laugh. I'm going to make jokes with you. You're going to have a different experience here. So let me know if you have any questions on how to get the most for your trade. Appreciate you guys watching, and definitely like and subscribe. I like to post videos usually about once a week or every 2 weeks or so. I try not to bombard you with videos, but I'm going to, as I think about stuff, I post videos and try to help people every way I can. So appreciate you watching. Once again, Steve Welch, Beeman Toyota, downtown Nashville here. Let me know how I can help you, and good luck on getting the most for your trade and getting into your new vehicle. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.